So this is a very, very quick look, hopefully, at the Zavvi Big Chief release of the Doctor Who 12th Doctor. It's not a long-winded review from a take a look at the box from every angle as they bore me to death, so hopefully I'll be able to fly through this pretty quickly. The reason I'm doing this is I've seen a lot of comments on social media, a lot of people giving an opinion on what they think these are like, but they don't actually own them. So, given there's so many 4th Doctor reviews, I thought I'd add one of my own for the 12th. And the biggest question I've seen, and it's one that comes up a lot, is does this feel like a budget figure? No, not really. I don't have a tendency to wipe my backside on £20 notes, so I wouldn't even call £200 a budget version of anything. But no, I wouldn't say that it does. And to be honest with you, the moment I took it out the box, I was actually quite impressed. So, removing this, and I will zoom in at some point. This is the Zavvi Big Chief version of the 12th Doctor. So how does it compare to the last release? Well, I had the last release of the 12th Doctor from Big Chief Studios, and I sold it because the joints were so brittle and stiff it felt like I was going to snap him anytime I moved him. In fact, I also had the 8th Doctor, and the feet on the 8th Doctor, I ended up nicknaming him Propeller Feet, because with just a flick, his feet would go around in a full 360-degree spin many times over. I am very thankful to say that straight out of the box, this doesn't have any of those problems. In fact, he holds a pose, as you can see. He does take a little bit of futzing around with the costume to get him to look, well, anything resembling a human, but then that's what you get with every figure when you take it out of a box. Now, the other thing I've said is people saying, how does this compare to Hot Toys releases? Well, I own quite a few Hot Toys figures, and in my opinion, this stacks up pretty well. For one, Hot Toys already use cheap materials, despite what people may tell you, rubber and pleather being the main two, and this figure has neither, so shouldn't degrade that much over time. What I would say, upon looking at it again now, is I actually prefer the stand on this one to the stand from the original. The original was blue, because it's Doctor Who, so TARDIS, and this one is silver, and it does actually make the figure stand out a little bit more. And as you'll see in a minute, the light up function, which lights up the Doctor Who logo in between his feet, actually works a lot better than my original did. So, on to the budget side of things. I wouldn't say it's budget, but I would say it's stripped back, and that's for good reason. These are being offered at around 200 on Zavvi or 220 on Big Chief, because, well, Big Chief does Big Chief. You do get an extra pair of hands that aren't pictured here, and you do get 2 versions of the sonic screwdriver, one opened, one closed. And then, of course, other than the paper documents that he uses, the TARDIS in Siege Cube mode. So, to be fair, for the price, I actually think that's pretty good. The costume doesn't feel cheap to me, and I've always thought if you can walk in a room and just look at a model on a shelf and know who it is, then it's done its job. And I think this does that pretty well. So, that being said, I will zoom in so you can see it a little bit closer. This is where I drop the camera and it all goes wrong. Oh dear. So there is your Capaldi head sculpt. I'm going to come down a bit. I do need to sort out his pullover cardigan. I need to pull that down and the trousers up, but as I said, this was a very, very quick review. I'm actually using a mobile light box, and the light didn't work, which is why this review is slightly darker than it should be. The stand nameplate is turned on currently, which is why you can see that faint blue hue around the Doctor Who logo, and there are some of his accessories. He was easy to pose. His joints actually worked. They weren't brittle, didn't feel like they were going to snap. And I would say, and this is just my personal opinion, I would say he is well worth the money. And I, for one, am perfectly happy. That being said, it would be nice to get a second Doctor from Big Chief. You can do it, guys. You can do it. So there you go. I apologise about the poor lighting. I usually do reviews on another channel, not on this one, and if I do a proper review on this guy, then obviously I'll rig the light box up and do it all properly. But for the moment, I just wanted to give a very, very quick look at what this figure is, what it looks like, what my personal opinions are, and just to give you a quick overview, really. I think he looks pretty good. There you go. 12th Doctor, Zavvi and Big Chief.